Welcome to another exciting interview with a complete stranger. Kim just flew in and she's a complete stranger. Got a great laugh, and I indoctrinated her on being fantastic. So are you fantastic today?
I am fantastic.
She's got that down, so we got that down. Now, Kim is a teacher of government. Now, I heard about this thing called government, and I don't quite know how it works because it seems to me no one knows how it works. But if she's teaching it, she's got to have some kind of a clue. So we're going to find out how government works.
Oh boy.
Does it work?
No, it doesn't work.
It's broken, isn't it?
It is broken.
I thought so. How do we fix it?
We have to take it over. We need to get informed. The people. It's all about the power of the people.
And that's a funny thing, because there's so many more people there are than people telling us what to do. So
That's
all we have to
right.
do is sit down and say, I'm not going to take it anymore. What's that one movie?
You're right. I know what you're talking about, but I'm not going to take it anymore. That is exactly what needs to happen, because there's more of us than there are of them.
Yeah, it's like the guards and the prisoners. You see these movies where there's 1,000 prisoners and 4 guards with guns. Oh my gosh, guys!
Overrun them.
Overrun them.
I think it's so because we're so conditioned to stay in our lanes that we allow that to happen.
Don't get me started on that.
I know.
People with blinders. That's my big thing. My thing.
Exactly.
You know? It's just we're just sheep. The rat race is a good example. It's a rat race, and we're all following the maze, right?
That's right. It reminds me when you get in line for a ride and they have the way they funnel you up to the ride. That's what I always think about that.
Okay.
When I think about our relationship with our government, what we choose to allow the government to do to us because we're in the funnel.
Okay, so now what grade is the government that you're teaching?
I teach at a community college.
Oh,
yes.
And of course you teach government. The funny thing about school, and I didn't have much of it, but they teach you the same thing in every grade, it seems to me. Fourth grade, fifth grade, sixth grade. You got science, maybe a little bit more advanced in each grade, but it's the same damn thing, and the same government all through the different grades. But in college, I didn't go to college because everyone was just partying. So I decided just to hitchhike around the world, and that was my college.
There you go.
Okay, and it worked for me.
Right.
But college does not teach you how to be successful. It doesn't even teach you how to get a job. It says if you get this piece of paper, you might get a job. And then, there's so many people washing dishes with these great college degrees.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so getting back to you, teaching college government. Now, these are people that hopefully are probably going to go into government. So the first thing is, how does it work? And how can we fix it, right?
Well, actually, they're not. It's a general education class, so everybody has to take it at our college because we've made that part of the requirement. So usually none of these students are going into government. So that makes it even that much harder because, to be honest with you, they don't give a shit and they're not very motivated and they they don't like government. So there's a lot of different dynamics that work there.
Right. So give me a quick 5-minute lesson on government. Can you condense government in 5 minutes?
I guess I'm just going to talk about the fact that we just need to get in the game. We just got to get off the bench and quit being spectators. And
voting is one way.
Voting is one of them.
Right.
And showing up at different meetings when things are going to happen, not complaining after they happen. But in order to do that, you just have to be informed. You have to.
And I'm probably a culprit of it not working because I don't feel my vote counts. It's one damn vote. I think, they're not going to miss me if I didn't vote. Matter of fact, I'm a mail-in. So they voted yesterday in Los Angeles. And I said to my wife, did we vote? Because she votes for me, right? And I said, did we vote? She goes, no, I'm sending it in. Well, they voted yesterday and we send it in today. I mean, did that vote count? Of course it counted. It was a tabulation, but it's like, but 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 adds up.
That's right. It does add up.
So people don't do as I say, don't do as I do as I say. Vote, right? That's the first step.
Well,
but you don't know what you're hearing. The bullshit that's coming out is you don't know it's true.
Right.
And one newspaper prints it, then the local news on TV reads it, and they repeat it, it's spreading rumors.
That's right.
So we don't know what's going on.
That's right.
So how do you know? And the internet isn't any better.
No. It is hard, but I think, once you kind of start understanding it and starting to figure it out a little bit, I think you can find ways and go to different sites that can help you get kind of information that's
like Wikipedia.
A little more balanced.
What do you think about Wikipedia?
Wikipedia, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it, but I go there when I'm in a hurry.
Some answers.
That's right.
Today, I don't know why anyone would go to school when you have the answer to anything you want in a millisecond on Google. In a millisecond. And if you want to know how to install or fix anything, it's on YouTube.
That's right.
And if you want uplifting interviews with total strangers, where do you go?
Right.
You go to YouTube.
but I venture to guess when you decided to not go to school and go around the world,
right?
You obviously became a self-taught, you're like a self-learner.
Yeah, I have a lot of common sense.
And common sense, exactly.
That goes a long way.
But students today, and I guess I shouldn't even say today, I suppose for a long time, just, we give in to that kind of want to be spoon-fed. We won't take the bull by the horns. So I hear what you're saying, about college not producing what basically the world needs, I guess, for lack of a better way of saying it. But I guess, that's one of the things that I try to do in my classroom is to empower these students so that they can be self-learners, so that I'm not just spoon-feeding them.
Right.
But we're so conditioned to not do that. We're conditioned to be spoon-fed. And as long as we accept that, well, then the relationship's going to be out of balance. We have to get out of that. But how do you get out of that? Is it going around the world? And I would go, heck yeah. I used to be a speed skater. So I was in Europe first time at 14, scared out of my wits, not knowing, no parents there, and going, oh my God, are you kidding me? I grew up kind of in a hurry.
Right.
But I look at that experience and I think, oh my gosh, the value that came from that is far more than so many classes that I had.
No question.
So I do know what you're saying, and I try to think about that in a classroom setting and get kids thinking more like from the standpoint of, I can do this, I can go figure this out, this information is there, I don't need somebody spoon feeding it to me.
What really pissed me off early on, and maybe because I'm just stupid or something, but they said that I had to take a foreign language to get into college. And that was the reason they told me I needed to take a foreign language. Okay, that I needed to get into college, right?
Right.
So, had they said you should take a foreign language because one day you may go to a foreign country where they don't speak English, and you may want to communicate with the locals there, that would have made sense.
Right.
But they didn't say that, and I didn't travel. I didn't know that there was a world out there.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, but you don't know.
That's right.
So, make sense of teaching.
Yeah. Relevancy. Yes, it has to be relevant.
Yeah. So, and then they could have said, there's pretty girls around the world that speak different languages. Wouldn't you want to talk? That might have made a lot of sense to me.
Right.
I liked girls,
That's
right?
That's right.
Oh, I tell you, I think teaching is, and that's actually what I'm melting into as a teacher, of positivity. Let's call it, of life.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm a life coach at this point.
It sounds like it to me.
Yeah, because I do have a lot of answers.
That's
right. I'm going to be wrong at times, but as a parent, one of my sayings is, after about 6 kids, you make less mistakes.
Yeah.
You don't stop making mistakes.
Right.
You make less.
Right.
You make different mistakes.
That's right.
It's like, and we're teaching these kids how to live life, and we don't know how to live life.
That's right.
And so these kids are mixed up. So they eventually have to go to a psychiatrist or a psychologist, because that's someone who's studied human nature and knows what's going on.
Right.
But we didn't. The average intelligence in America is 6th grade level. And they're teaching their kids.
That's right.
And it's like, I always thought it would be funny if I taught my son, and when I'm holding an apple, tell him, this is an orange. Right?
Yeah.
He's going to believe it because his daddy said, this is an orange.
Right.
So imagine going through life and says, hey, would you pass me that orange? No, the other one. That's an apple.
Right. That's right.
Maybe I was just my mean streak is what that was.
There you go.
But that's what we're teaching our kids. And some parents are thieves and bad people, and they're teaching their kids that because that's what they are.
Yeah.
They don't. They say, no, it's bad to steal. No, it's good to steal because big corporation doesn't cost them anything, and as long as you get away with it, we got something for free. That's what they're teaching them.
Right.
So
right.
It's an amazing world, ladies and gentlemen. But thanks to people like Kim, it might be a better place. So, did we learn anything about government? in this interview, in closing this interview? What did we learn? We had to take action.
Yeah, definitely have to take action.
We know it's broken. We know it's
Yes.
broken. Now there's different types of government. There's dictatorships. There's what do you call that? Socialism.
Yep.
And there's democracy.
Yep.
And there's probably a couple others I missed out there.
Yeah.
And I think socialism, in a lot of ways, is good. Dictatorship, because people are idiots, they need to be told what to do, in some ways works. I don't know if you could mix all three of them together, but I feel there should be 2 presidents or 3 presidents, because then it's a majority rules. Instead of one guy making a total mistake on whether we should do this war or not, 3 of them have to decide.
Right.
What's wrong with that?
Right.
Because what a president is, and I can be president, by the way, is it's being very smart and taking the 10 advisors that all give you points of view and saying, we're going to go with that one.
Mm-hmm.
It's because he's not coming up with all the answers. His experts are coming up with the answers, and he's got to decide which is the right answer.
Right.
Right?
Well, early on, you're
Vote for Monty.
Yeah, you're onto something, because early on the founding fathers talked about having a committee, an executive committee, not just one person. So obviously it didn't go anywhere, but it was talked about.
Well, something has to change. The government's all screwed up. I make tiny homes. One of my careers is making tiny homes for the poor people. And I met with all the city councils in Los Angeles, and they all loved. Woo!
Oh.
They all loved my company and my project, because I made a $10,000 home for poor people that was indestructible, lasts a lifetime, transportable. It was made out of a container, shipping container, brand new home for $10,000. And they all loved it, but nobody wanted poor people in their neighborhood, and the government regulations and this. And so finally we're just going to sell it to Puerto Rico and places that don't have all the the rules and regulations to inhibit advanced thinking.
Right.
So the government, to me, I don't even want to deal with the government. I run a nonprofit for veterans, and it's just like the government is no help whatsoever. So I'm going to private enterprise with everything I do. And it's better. Do a good thing, make a profit, and do a good thing with it.
That's right. Yeah.
Anyway, too much about me, not about Kim. Kim, thank you so much for participating.
Thank you.
And good luck with those kids.
Yeah. Thank you.
I hope they change the government.
Yeah. I'm on it.
Government teacher.
Yeah.